Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and today we're going to be doing a market update video where I look at 3 big picture indicators that are suggesting that it might be a good time to buy at least a little bit of crypto. Along with that, I'm going to be taking a deeper dive into the charts to look for possible trade setups and formulate some sort of game plan for the week. Overall, I see the potential for a short-term rally, especially because it is October, which is typically Uptober. However, I don't want to get too excited because we still have that global macroeconomic situation happening. But despite that, there are 2 cryptocurrencies that I'm looking at for potentially making some serious gains over the next few weeks, if not months. So let's head over to my computer and dive in. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with the CBBI historical index chart. This is the crypto Bitcoin bull run index chart if you're unaware. And currently it is at 5. So 5 is very, very, very low. And historically speaking, once it dips under 5, that has, historically speaking, been a very, very good time to buy. You could see that previously when it was under 5, that was the bottom, and that was December in 2018 after the huge crash from basically December 2017 all the way down to December of 2018. And the CBBI reached a 5 and a 4 and a 3, and those were really the bottom numbers, around 3,800 down to 3,400. And we are there now. We have reached it. So we are at a 5. It was at a 4 at 19, but the thing is, it was at a 4 at 19,300, and now it's at a 5 and it's at 19,372. So it's just hovering around. It's hovering around this number. The thing that makes me a little bit scared though is that back here, this was a 5, but we were in basically a big uptrending environment. Same thing right here. It was, this was when it actually got to a 0, but in the macroeconomic picture was pretty darn good ever since after basically 2010, 2009, 2010, 2011. That's when macroeconomically speaking, everything started going up. And so this time the macroeconomic situation is very bad, but we are technically speaking at the level of the CBBI historical chart where accumulation is a good idea. And I am accumulating. I am dollar cost averaging. However, I am planning on selling on moves up. We haven't really had any moves up, but if we do, I do plan on selling. So that's the CBBI historical index chart. Next up, we have the MVRVZ score. This one did reach the green zone, which historically, once again speaking, has been the good time to buy. Last time it was in this zone was near the bottom when Bitcoin was around $4,000, $3,000, and really anywhere between 5,000 and 3,000. And that was historically the bottom, and we are in this zone now. So that's really good. Oh yeah, and then before that, the last time that we actually hit it was during the COVID crash, and then of course we had that huge spike up after that. I'm not expecting huge spikes up in price, like, don't get me wrong, but just from these macro picture indicators, these are it's saying that it's a good time to start looking for long positions, or at least to start averaging in, or to at the very least not short, because the risk reward is probably pretty shit. So yeah, there's that. And that was the MVRVZ score. So now we have the R hodl ratio. The R hodl ratio, it did actually get into the green. So this has been historically, I think, a little bit more accurate than the MVRVZ score. So we have the R hodl ratio. Yeah, last time the R hodl ratio got into the green was during the bottom of 2019. So once again, It's tough because like my inner being is like, don't buy because everything is crap. You know, everything sucks right now. The world is falling apart. But this indicator, or at least these indicators, are saying, hey, it's at a huge discount right now. So you might, so going in, maybe not going all in, but going in at least a little bit during these times and then just waiting it out 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, maybe longer, you will most likely, historically speaking and probability speaking, come out on top. And so that's what I'm looking at right here. It's still I'm not gonna deny that that overall it's still scary. It's definitely still scary, and I'm definitely holding a lot of cash still. I'm holding like a decent amount of cash still, and I do plan on selling bounces up. So hopefully we get some bounces up, because that's like I've been wanting some bounces up for quite a while now. And then now we have the fear and greed index. Surprisingly, it's at a 24. I would have expected this to be literally like, I don't know, a 10 or below. So I don't really do anything with this when it's at above a 10 or below 80. I don't really use it. So yeah, those are the three big macro pictures that I look at: the CBBI, the MVRVZ score, and the R hodl ratio. So according to those, it's a good time to be averaging in. And of course, like I always say, I have multiple accounts. I have an account where I do average in, and then I have my trading account. My trading account is totally separate from my account that I average into, and my hold account, or my super long-term swing trading account. So that is that. All right, so now we are on the Bitcoin chart on the monthly time frame, and you could see a few things going on here. First thing that I want to mention is that we are nearly 395 days from the peak, and that usually does signify a fairly a possible turnaround point. So that is a little bit bullish, but that's not going to happen until December or late November of 2022. So we still have another month to go for that. The other thing that I want to mention is that every single cycle had 85, 82, basically 80 to 85 to 86% drawdowns. And currently we're not there yet. Currently we are at a 74% drawdown. We did have a 75% drawdown from top to bottom so far, but if we are going to be in line with the previous cycles and expect an 80% drawdown, that will bring us down to the 88%, which is just about $14,000. So somewhere between $13,000 and $14,000. Not only that, but that does go in line with the previous market cycle top. So not the top, because we're already below that, but it goes along with the market cycle close of the monthly top, and plus this other little spike up that we had in June of 2019. So $14,000 is most likely gonna get hit if I'm just looking at the monthly chart, not looking at anything else, but just looking at this. It looks like $14,000 is going to get hit. And so this is where I'd probably go all in around this level, because it lines up with the previous monthly highs and everything that I just said. And it's 80% down, and it's at the 88%, which is the institutional. The only thing is that if I bring this down one notch, then 12,000 is the 88%. However, if I bring this down a notch, then the 61.8 doesn't really line up perfectly. The 78.6 does. So 12K is definitely in the cards, but I just choose to do it from here, and so 14K. So I would say the bottom is probably going to be between 12 and 14K, and that's the bigger macro picture on the monthly. The third thing that I'm looking at on the monthly is the fact that September right here, this closed below the previous lows. So you could see that June had the absolutely horrendous month in June, and it closed at $19,940. So obviously July opened there and then popped up, and there was a great month in July. But then in August, it just came right back down to the close. And then September closed underneath of that, basically of that support zone. So this is not good. I don't like the fact that September closed underneath the major support. I would much rather hold the major support, because it just on a monthly time frame, it really looks like we're going to head lower and hit the previous lows of 17,600. And then obviously potentially below that 14K. So on a monthly time frame, that's what it looks like, because it would be weird on a monthly time frame to close all the way down here, open, come all the way back down, close, and then close below it after having a big wick up, and then just like for the next month close back up. I mean, this is crypto, so nothing's impossible, you know, and the monthly time frame is super, what do I want to say? It's reliable, obviously, but it's also not as reliable, in my opinion, as the weekly or the daily, because so many things could change in the monthly time frame, you know. Like we would expect this back here to come up, and then this candle to come back down potentially because it hit the resistance, and I don't know, or at least this candle, we'd expect this candle to come back down after this one, because it had a huge spike up and hit the resistance level. But no, like it just kept on going up. And I'm trying to look for another example. If I'm looking, and I'll also look for market structure breaks. Yeah, so here's another thing, is that right here we had this move down on the monthly time frame, and it broke the market structure right there. So you could see that we went, if I do this real quickly, we had the up move, and then we had the down move, and then we had the up, down, and then up. So, and we made a new high. When we came back down on this move down, we broke this previous little down move right here, which means that we had a market structure break, which means that you would want to short on the move up at basically around this level, basically anywhere around this level. And then we came back down and we had a market structure break underneath this close right here. So this was another market structure break down here. And once this happened, now we would expect the price to come back up to at least 35,000, or no, not 35,000, at least 28,000. But if we're using the order block theory, then we would expect to come up to 34K. But it just sort of dumped and then just flatlined and then fell over. And that's indicative of the RSI and the stochastic RSI. You can see that it's just sort of just like fell and it's dead. So on the monthly time frame, things are not looking very good. And because we had down here, once again, a market structure break on the monthly time frame once we closed below this close. So again, that's really not good for Bitcoin. However, that doesn't mean that we can't get a move like this to come up and then come back down, which is what I am expecting. So we could probably get a better, or not probably, we can get a better glimpse of that if we go down to the weekly time frame. So let's look at the weekly time frame and try to decide what the good course of action is. Okay, one thing that I did notice on the weekly time frame was that we do have the 300 weekly moving average coming up. So there's actually a couple things I noticed. The first thing is that we have the 300 weekly moving average coming up, which was what was tagged on the March 2020 lows during the COVID crisis. So you can't see it on this chart, but it was exactly pinned on that. So that's good. And that correlates with this previous low of 17,570. So if this gets tagged, this would be a really good long opportunity for the shorter term, in my opinion. Anywhere between 17,600 and 17,200. I think is really good. As for the weekly time frame right now, if we plot out the previous week's range, we have the low, we have the high, and I mean it's a 10% move. It's not drastic, and so far we've honestly, I mean, on the higher time frame, it's just down only, up, and then more down, it's more to the downside. So, and before we even had that, we had down, up, down. So I'd expect it to come up maybe 20,000 to 20,800 and somewhere around that area, and then come back down, unless something fundamentally changes and we have a huge spike up to the 28,000 region, which is what I would absolutely love. I would love to come back up here. This is what I want. Then I would expect, just looking at the weekly time frame, something along the lines of this. So maybe 20,500. Let's go down to the daily. Maybe we could see a little bit more clearly from there. Oh yeah, and actually one other thing, if I mentioned it or not, I forget, but the stochastic RSI is pretty high. Same thing, it was pretty high up here, and we ended up crashing down on the weekly. It was pretty high up here, we ended up crashing down. It was pretty high up here as well, and yeah, we ended up coming down on the. Excuse me, this is the daily chart. I meant to put this on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, on the weekly chart. Last time it was up, it was this high. It was all the way up back here at the highs of 25K, and then it fell. The good news is that the RSI is moving up. So the RSI itself is moving up. The stochastic is still in the danger territory, though. I would love it if the stochastic was down here, like how this was happening, where the RSI and the stochastic was down. That was really, really good. Well, not really, really good, but it was better than when the stochastic is all the way up here. I would much rather get in when the stochastic is down as opposed to up. So it just makes things a little bit more worrisome, especially to be in and like expect some big plays, huge moves to the upside or something with the stochastic so high up. But now going back to the daily chart, looking at the daily chart, I like this range. I like this as the range for the bigger, just like overall picture. And I don't really expect it to come back to the top of the range at 25K, but I could see maybe at the most 21K be hit. And I like this range on the daily because if you look at the mid-range, it was tapped here, it was tapped here, it was just about tapped here. And then on the way back down, it was tapped here, and then it was tapped here. So this seems to be a fairly decent range on the daily time frame. We could see it was tapped a lot more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 1, and then up, boom, 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 lots of resistance, and then a fake out above it, and then down. So this makes a lot more sense. Sorry for that confusion. But yeah, also even coming back here, it was the previous support. So I'm looking at this as the range. We're at the bottom of the range, so I don't want to short, but oh my God, this is difficult because I would rather be long. I'll just say this. If we're at a bottom of the range at near the support, I would much rather long than short. And so just looking at this, it's like we had the previous low. Right here, we had a deviation below it, followed by a move above it. And I'm talking about this low right there. And then right here, we had the deviation below this line that I drew right here, which was the last swing low right there. So we had a deviation below it, closed, and then back above it. So okay, that's bullish. Then we came back down and tapped it 1, 2, 3 times. That's bullish. And then we even had this on September 28th to tap it again, and that's bullish. So this price action right here, in my opinion, is super bullish, but this price action right here is not bullish, because if this was bullish, if this was truly bullish, if this was truly a quote unquote rocket ship, well, rocket ships don't come back down after they've taken off. So this basically, to me, it was like it took off and then it came all the way back down. So I don't like how it's looking. I don't like it. And the stochastic is all the way up here on the daily as well. So I honestly don't want to trade. I don't want to trade this. We could go back up to 21K, but I wouldn't want to trade Bitcoin. Yeah, so overall, I'm thinking we have the potential to go up to maybe 21,000, and like, I don't know, looking at just the fact that SPY did reclaim, or actually I guess it didn't, but NASDAQ, did it reclaim this? Okay, so yeah, the NASDAQ so far has reclaimed the lows, which is really good, but it's like stocks look a lot better than crypto, but crypto is correlated. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. This is Bitcoin, and look at this. The indicators are really bad, and the price action is just stagnant. Meanwhile, at least on the NASDAQ, like, the indicators are really, really good. Bullish divergences. The stochastic is oversold. We got the reclaim on the daily charts from the previous swing low. Well, there's still 4 more hours to go, but yeah, I mean, it just, stocks look better, but maybe there are some things in crypto that are better than Bitcoin, because I don't really want to trade Bitcoin at this point. I'm sort of just accumulating, and then if we get a pump up to 21, I'll probably just sell. Okay, and now I want to talk about altcoin dominance levels. I still hate it. I still hate how altcoin dominance levels are all the way up here. They're still so high, which means that I think we still have room to go down, because dominance levels, they have been working and not working. They haven't worked precisely, but it's like when dominance levels for alts are all the way up here, typically that means that the market's going to go down. And I really don't like the fact that we're still so high with altcoins. Like, although we're never going to get back to this point where Bitcoin has so much dominance over altcoins that it's just going to be like it was in 2017, 2018, 2019. It's just not going to happen again, because there's too many alts now. But you could still hopefully use dominance levels as some type of gauge on the market. And right now, altcoin dominance levels are still way too high. I don't like it. I would much rather see them come down here. If they come down to this level, then I think that could be a good sign that the market might be bottoming. So yeah, that's altcoin dominance levels. And then let's go into ETH. All right, so now we're in the ETH monthly chart, and we'll see what we have here. First thing, just like I said with Bitcoin, how it dropped 80 to 85%. Well, Ethereum dropped 94%, so we are still 74% away down, and we only dropped 82% previous to that. So for Ethereum to reach the 90% drop, like how it did last cycle, we'd have to come all the way back down to $400 to $500. And I mean, that is in line with the last bullish order block before the move up on the monthly time frame that we never actually retested. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to bring this down here just because of that. And it's like, it could get a bounce here, or it could get a bounce at the 88. No one really knows, but this is the last bullish order block. So I would say that this right here would be the level to really go hard in. Now, looking at the monthly time frame, you could see that we basically had a gigantic move up, down, breaking the market structure up, down, breaking the market structure up. So higher highs, higher lows. Finally, boom, this in January, we broke the market structure to the downside on the monthly time frame. And then we came back up, but we did not come back up to the to the bearish order block, which was right there. This is where I was hoping that we would come back up to, but we never did. And then, of course, after that, we just completely got annihilated and crashed back down. So if you're looking at the order block theory, then this up here around $2,280, that should be where we should have gone up to before potentially putting in a lower low. And we could also look at the Fibonacci just to double check it. So top to bottom, and then put the fib on there. And oh, it looks like I already had it. And I did. I don't know what I was thinking. So, and that would be the, yeah, so that would be the 61.8, just about the 61.8, which would make so much sense. But it couldn't even get up to 50. So yeah, that's the monthly chart for Ethereum. It's just like, it's weak. Like this candle, like we should have had a better month in August. August should have been better. September is always shit. But like, unless potentially this type of situation comes in, then yeah, obviously that would be more bullish, but you can't really say anything on this monthly time frame. You sort of have to go down into the weekly to determine what to do at this point, because the monthly is just simply not giving you enough information. On the weekly time frame, we had a market structure break to the downside. So look, came back up. This move right here was a market structure break of here. So you would expect us to come back down into this level. So we came back down, but we didn't get back down to here. We only got back down to here before bouncing back up, and then we fell down again below. So this right here was a market structure break of this level, which means that now potentially 1562 is a pretty decent level for it to come up to before it comes back down and potentially goes to the weekly 300 weekly moving average. Okay, and so once again, I'm looking at the daily time frame, and it's like, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that yes, it has the potential to move up, but I don't want to long it, because it doesn't seem, because with the stochastic so overbought, and we're hitting the moving averages, and the macro environment, there's yeah, okay, it could go up 12%, maybe even 20%. But I'm looking at this, okay, it hit my buy zone, it hit the bullish order block, and then it bounced up, and then it came back down, tagged it again, tried to move up, but couldn't. It stopped everyone out again, moved all the way back up, and then came all the way back down again, and then tried to move up. It's like the sellers are just relentlessly pushing it down and down and down and down. And like, yeah, back here it went up, even though the RSI and the stochastic RSI were overbought, but we had the merge, we had the narrative. So I think the best thing to do is to look for narratives and only long the narratives. Right now, I don't see any narrative in Ethereum. So the only things that I see narratives on are XRP, number one. So we'll go into that in a second. And obviously, and then Quant network, because Quant is in the realm of XRP. And then there's XLM and some other ones, but I don't even pay attention to that because I think that they're just so garbage. So I'm just going to stick with the strategy that I've been doing for Ethereum, which is dollar cost averaging into it. I've been dollar cost averaging it into it basically every single day. And well, not basically every single day. And I'm just waiting for some pump up for me to get out. That's pretty much what I'm doing. And that doesn't always work. I mean, if you started dollar cost averaging in right here, you would probably have an average buy-in price of right around 2,200, if not maybe 2,100, right? And we never even pumped back up to there. So, or maybe you'd have an average buy-in price of a little bit underneath that, maybe 1,800 after you account for buying in down here as well. And so you really wouldn't have done that well, but you would have made profit and you wouldn't have lost any money if you just dollar cost average all the way down, continued to dollar cost average this entire way up, and then got out at a very, very small profit. And that's basically what I'm doing because of what I talked about in the very beginning, where the MVRVZ score and the CBBI index and the R hodl ratio and things like that are. I don't mind averaging in at these levels, but I also want to get out if there is some type of pump, because I think it's all just going to be continuously liquidity pumps. And so so these are the two levels that I'm really looking at, basically 1472 and 1553. I like those. We had, let's see, down, up, down, market structure break right here. Never got back up to here for the order block, and then up, down. So then this became the order block. We did tag it right here. So this was the shorting opportunity from here to here. That was 11% shorting opportunity, really good. Wish I took it. And now I'm sort of just waiting. So I could see us going up 18, 19 per 20%, but I could also see us just stagnating and floating down. I know that's not what you want to hear right now, but it's not the best play in my book. So let's go on to something that maybe actually has a play, which is XRP. Okay, so now we're in XRP, and we're going to actually do the top-down analysis, monthly down analysis. So if we look at the monthly chart, look at this. It pumped all the way up 71% in September. Incredibly good month for XRP for September, 71% up to the moving average, and then obviously fell back down. So if we're looking at the monthly chart, if we're looking at this monthly chart, then right here, this top right here at 0.394675, I want to be in. I absolutely want to grab it right there. So let me just put a little green box right here to make sure that I know. So this is what I want. I'm definitely going to be in right here. I'm already in. And I have just been averaging in. So basically I got in down here somewhere. I took my profits somewhere up here, and then I started buying, and I bought back down here, sold some up here. I mean, in and out of XRP for a while. But yeah, this right here would be the one to go into if it reaches even, anywhere around 39 to 40 cents. I think 40 cents is a solid buy. 40 cents is a solid buy for XRP. And I think I'm just averaging into XRP, because if that news story comes out, if over the next few months, which it did say that it's supposed to happen within the next few months, that XRP wins the lawsuit, that will make XRP soar. So I'm sort of risking a ton on XRP. It's my degenerative, it's not like my degen play, but like it sort of is my degen play. I have a degen account and I just go into XRP, and this is literally what I'm doing, because in crypto, it's all about the narratives. Ethereum pumped because of the narrative around the merge. The merge happened and then it dumped. XRP has a big narrative around the case, the lawsuit ending. And I'm sure as soon as the lawsuit ends, it'll have a huge move up followed by a catastrophic dump, like a real big dump, because I'm sure I think Jed McCaleb and Garlinghouse is going to just continue to dump their coins like they've been dumping on everyone for the past 5 years, right? But I could totally see it coming up to 60 something cents. Let's look on the weekly chart one more time. I mean, technically speaking, 69 cents is even a great price. If XRP reaches here, sell. You better sell all of it. Not financial advice, but I will be selling 100% all of it. Selling all of it. Boom, right here. Like abso-freaking-lutely. And so, yeah, that's XRP. So at least there's something within the crypto market that is looking pretty good. Oh, but not only is XRP looking good, Quant killing it. Quant killing the game. Really wanted to get in a Quant down here. Never happened, it didn't happen yet. And it did actually end up bouncing off of this previous resistance turned support. Quant is above all of the moving averages on the daily time frame. So Quant, it is honestly not too bad. Quant's not too bad. So let's just do a little bit of analysis on it. The only thing I don't like is the RSI and the stochastic RSI, how high they are. I really don't like that. But Quant, something behind the scenes is happening. You know that something behind the scenes has to be happening, given the fact that, let's look on the monthly chart. Did Quant have an amazing September as well? Yep, amazing September as well. So 70% for Quant in September. It is at this resistance. I don't like that. That's actually really scary. But maybe, yeah. I mean, I sold all of the Quant that I was trading right around here, somewhere around $130 to $132. And I'm not in Quant in a trade right now because, like, we're in a bear market and it's up significantly. So that usually means that it's probably going to turn around. But this is Quant, and I have Quant in my long-term investment portfolio in my ledger that I'm never, ever touching. I'm literally going to hold that for years to come. Well, I'm going to hold it until the next cycle or until Quant's like $1,000 per coin or something like that. Then I'll probably sell it. But yeah, and then I will buy more. I'll buy it back whenever it ends up dumping after that. If it does, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I'm looking at this, and yeah, we had the market structure break. So honestly, where I had my game plan laid out previously is still a really good place to get in. So this is where I would want to get in for Quant, and I would have, it'd be like this. Like this would be the trade setup, and I would probably target right here. Yeah, I think that is a pretty solid trade setup for Quant. Okay, and now finally I want to go into stocks, and then I'll go into the dollar. So I'm looking at the S&P 500 right here, and it looks like today will close above the previous lows. So that to me is super bullish. So I do love that. And that does make me bullish, because if we take the range low from here up to the range high up there, then we have a solid, oh man, I mean, we have a solid 8.5% until we get to the midline for the S&P 500. So I do like this. I do like stocks right now, unless we just fall back below this line. Let me get rid of this one. Unless we fall back below it, then obviously that would be bad. But this reclaim was, in my opinion, really, really good. So we have that on the S&P 500. On the NASDAQ, we also got the reclaim of the low and also of the close, or we're about to. There's 3 hours left, so who knows? If it closes below here, then that's not good. But if it does close up above here, then we take the, you know, low to the high and of the range, and this, you could have that, or potentially you could have that. Actually, yeah, I would rather do this. And if that's the case, and you target the mid range, then that's a solid 7-8% for the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq looking bullish. Bitcoin and Ethereum most likely gonna go up with the stock market. October is typically bullish, which is good, but overall I'm still bearish, like, for the big picture, and except for on XRP. I'm pretty darn bullish on XRP. I'm pretty darn bullish on Quant, and I really hope that Quant, I could get a order filled on Quant. I might. This might be asking for too much, to be honest. But if it does come down, I'm absolutely swooping it up. For XRP, I'm already in it, but I'll be adding to my position all the way down for sure for XRP. And the last one that I want to go through, oh yeah, the dollar. Forgot. So there's the dollar. This is the thing on the dollar. On the dollar, we actually just hit the 88%. And obviously we're in that overbought territory on the stochastic and the regular RSI. And this does look like it wants to have a little bit of a move down, maybe for October. Can't be entirely sure, but it is looking that way. Everything is in the overbought territory. And it seems, if we go down to the daily charts, we have not yet had a market structure break to the downside on the daily chart. So perhaps on the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, we have had that market structure break down, followed by the move up, followed by the continuation down. So I'm targeting down here. So I think that the dollar will come down to the bottom of this range, and it'll just, you know, come down to the bottom of the range before moving back up. And I don't know, maybe doing that is something that I'm thinking is going to happen. Well, actually, I'll just be a little bit more clear with it. I think down, up, down, and then up like that. And then that's when we could start the new, I don't know if we're going to start the new bull market there, but this is probably where the bottom's going to happen, is somewhere up around 120 when the dollar reaches that. But then again, if we look at the chart, dollar could literally go all the way up to 160. And if it does that, I am moving. I'm getting the hell out of America, because the dollar is going to be worth so much more than so many other. It's going to go so much further out of the country. So I'll just move somewhere out of the country and live crazy cheap. And so that's pretty much the summary of the markets right here. I think you got the gist of it. I like XRP and Quant the most. Bitcoin and Ethereum are probably going to go up a little bit, but I don't expect them to make. I don't expect the 28,000 to be hit, or 2,000 to be hit for Ethereum. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, that's actually, I don't hope I'm wrong. I hope, well, actually, no, I do. I don't know. It's been a bad year for the markets. This really hurt a lot of people, and we're sort of just hanging on by a thread. So fingers crossed, some good stuff happens. Quant has been pretty good. XRP has been pretty good. And we're going to see what goes on. So I'm going to update this later on. And now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the news and just like look at the news, and I'll make another video for that. But this gave you the general gist of what I'm doing. And hopefully you're looking at the markets, you're deciding, what's comfortable for you, and you're putting in what you're comfortable with putting in, and, trading the way that you want to trade. And so with saying all that, I'm going to sign off. So keep on stacking those sats, keep on making those gains, and I'll see you in the next video.